ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fun Pop Fan Guys podcast. We are very happy to be here today. We have a special guest. But first, I just want to say we're going to go around the panel and introduce our fellow contributors. First of all, we got Big Mike. Big Mike, say hello to our audience.
Oh, good to see you.
All right. Next, we have Sir Eric Linden.
Hello.
Thank you, Eric, for being here. And Lady Dawn Chapman. Say hello to our audience.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
And my partner in crime, Mr. Mark Lazo.
Hello, Rich. Privileged to be here.
All right. And I am Rich Morton, your moderator.
Hello, Taylor.
And just to let everybody out there know, we are part of the Center for Music and Creativity, CMAC, and this is we have a very special thing today. We have one of our CMAC students, creative writing students, is here, and he's here for a very special reason. And I would like to introduce Adam Beasley. Say hello.
Hello out there.
All right. So Adam, in addition to being a student and being part of the creative writing class, actually has been a writer for a while now. And very cool thing, published his own book. So
It's just made.
So this is Adam's book, his first book, number one. Remember that, number one.
Book
just
one.
Maybe more than one. But Adam, illustrator and author, right? You wrote and illustrated this?
Yep, I sure did.
So glad.
That is awesome. So the Pop Rock Primates. So can you tell us briefly what this book is about?
It's about a young teen named Mark Cooper who forms a band with diverse primates: Alfredo the chimpanzee, Twain the gorilla, Chelsea the orangutan, and DJ the sloth.
Very nice. And the Pop Rock Primates. Now, was this originally conceived to be a book?
Originally, I had plans on turning this into an animated, or should I say, Adam-mated series. Yeah, I've always loved cartoons so much, and my goal is to eventually produce my own at some point.
Great. So originally you had your dream would be for this to eventually be made into an animated series, I guess, right?
Yep. I still write scripts for this, featuring these same characters for about 7 years.
So this all started 7 years ago. Wow, this has been a journey. I know that some of us have been following Adam with this as he's shared his scripts through his creative writing classes and times. So this has come. So what made you decide to adapt it into a book, illustrated book?
My mom said it would be hard to get a show produced, and said that it's a lot easier to turn all this into books. And some shows start off as books. I feel like it's a small step and then work my way through as time goes on.
And movies.
And eventually movies. Go on, could you actually ask Adam that first question?
Which one?
That was just talked about before.
Oh, wait. Is the book for children or for people of all ages?
Anyone of all ages can enjoy it. I made this so that way children can enjoy it with their parents and even grandparents.
Wonderful. So you want this to it's kind of designed for children, but anybody could really enjoy it. Kind of like a lot of animated shows and movies, right? Maybe geared towards children, but a lot of times the adults will get the humor and things like that, I'm guessing.
Kind of like shows like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Phineas and Ferb, etc., etc.
So those are your big influences?
A little. And in a way, I guess you could say it kind of may remind some of you of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's...
The point is to show that it's okay to be different, and that rather than judge someone for being different, accept people for being different.
That's great. So there's a moral to the story, if you will. Definitely, that's a wonderful thing to have that, and that so you're teaching kids morals and values within the story, and that's a beautiful thing.
And I'd be
Uh,
showing representation as well.
I'm sorry, Adam, can you say that again?
And I would be showing representation as well.
Representation. And as far as representation, you want to explain that a little further?
Yes. I like to show like that there could be that to show there are different races out there and and people who are like who are part of the LGBTQ plus community, which include characters like DJ, who is a gender non-conforming sloth.
Oh, see, I guess, and as we go, you go from story to story. Are you going to get more into the individual characters and their personal stories?
Yes, and it added other characters who are part of the community as well. News
That's great.
report. Their names are Beth and Paige. They're a lesbian couple.
Okay,
You like the names Beth and Paige?
I do
Huh.
like Beth and Paige. I wonder if there's a reason for those two names.
Beth Page, the town and the bank.
That's a great way. And that was my next quick question. Well, where did you come up with the names for these other characters? They're I see.
Originally, back when I used to work on this idea with an old friend of mine that moved out of state, it was originally going to be just a human and gorilla, Mark Twain. But then I thought of why not add other characters to be more inclusive, like having the brains of the crew, Alfredo the chimpanzee, and the female lead who can be the sassy one at times, Chelsea the orangutan.
There you go. And as far as with the book, did you start this in as like a script, or did you already have illustrations, or which came first, illustrations or the script?
The scripts.
The scripts. Did you have like kind of like something in mind? Were you envisioning what these characters might be looking like?
Well, for a while, my old friend did the designs, but since he and I went our separate ways, I went to my instructor, and he made some suggestions, and we worked on them together. I take art lessons every once a week, and we work on the pages together, paper, and then I trace them digitally on the iPad.
Oh, so you start on paper and then you actually. I don't know, Mike. You wanted to ask a question?
Yes. How like you doing like the cover and stuff on the computer and stuff?
I did that on the iPad,
Oh, nice. Very nice.
and I some of the characters you've seen are puns of certain like towns or other inspirations, while others are named after people I knew in real life.
So
Like,
some of the characters are based on people you know in real life?
yep, like Principal Moscato was based off an old friend, Nick Moscato, who he he's known for creating big friend groups and events. And I feel like why not name the principal after him?
That's a great idea. Before we forget,
Yeah,
this book, where can people get this?
on Amazon.
Amazon, and you can get it in a physical copy, or you could get it for like a electronic, like Kindle book too, as well, right?
Yep.
Rich, I just want to point out, since you brought that up, for anybody listening that does not own a Kindle device, you definitely do not need a Kindle device. You can get the Kindle version or the electronic version of this book and read it on any tablet. There is a Kindle app, but you definitely do not need specifically a Kindle to get the ebook.
That's Eric. Do you have a question out of one of our questions here, or something you would thinking to ask Adam?
I see that one. Somebody just put in the chat. I can read that. Tell us about the DEDDIC
Dedication.
dedication. What kind of support did you get while writing the book?
All the support I needed from my friends and family.
Yeah.
And like I said, some characters are based off people I know and love. One of the main characters, DJ, is based off my friend Tara because she loves sloths and also queer. So I feel like why not make a queer sloth for her?
Love it, Adam. That's really great. I see this character is Mark. That's Mark, correct? Is Mark would you say the main character?
Yeah, the main human character at least, that's for sure.
Now, did you base Mark off of anybody in particular, like yourself or somebody else?
Mostly a little myself because I like to help people in need and be a good friend to people.
Oh, that's a great way to be.
Because if you've seen other scripts, Mark and the Primates, they don't always sing a form. They also like to help people around town.
Well, I think it was a big help that that Mark asked his parents to invite these primates to live with them. I think that the foundation of the story, just based on that he finds these strangers, and as you pointed out, talking about representation, it's a totally different species even, and his first instinct was to help, which I think is it.
They came all the way from an entirely different country, and need someplace to live because being homeless can be very scary. No matter and regardless of how different you are.
You're addressing different issues in here, Adam.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's great to have you on here to talk about these things because these are kind of things that a lot of people wouldn't think about. So a lot has gone into this.
And one of the biggest goals is that if this does become an animated series, my goal is to hire my special needs friends who are into acting to voice the main characters, because I'm friends with people who are part of a special needs theater group.
And what
That's right.
Group is that?
Well, some, as I've met thanks to Sarah and some of you guys from Free, and others from Epic Players, which is out in the city.
So we have the Free Players, who we have some representation here. Eric, I believe you were one of the Free Players.
Yeah.
And Lowell had been part of the Free Players.
Since
which a late addition, Lowell Bales. How's it going, bud?
Okay.
Lola joined us here. We're having our interview with Adam Beasley, the Bees.
Yeah.
The Bees Knees. But this is all really good. Mark, you have anything in particular you want to ask?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, Adam, I just want to say congratulations. What an accomplishment.
I agree with him too. Yeah,
and
congratulations.
For us too to have a published author in our midst. I loved the book, and there was something I had wanted to ask you about specifically. One of the illustrations, I'm going to go ahead and share this one right now. And there's a number of illustrations you did in this book that I just really loved. But this one, I think because it was early in the book, it jumped out at me and kind of reminded me of just having this shot. The first thing I thought of when I saw it was the album cover Abbey Road from the Beatles, and I also it made
too.
You like that album, Eric?
Yeah.
And then the other thing it made me think of was one of my favorite children's books growing up, by Maurice Sendak, Where the Wild Things Are. I was wondering if you were inspired by either of those two pieces of art when
mostly Abbey Road.
So you were all right. Excellent.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
that way. That's cool.
Now,
All right, good.
speaking of music, Adam, I know that in your original scripts, a big part of what you want this animated show to be would be music as a part of it. I know you've
Yeah.
written several like
And most of the songs, obviously except the theme song, I put parodies in them so kids can, like I said, so kids can enjoy them with their parents and grandparents, so they could see all kinds of music of different generations.
here's an idea I just had, Adam. I don't know if something that you could ever eventually, as you're growing with this, maybe like you could have like an audio. I
Ah,
like that. Maybe you could actually include like like audio clips in the book, like people can get. Like if you buy a book, sometimes you have like audio. So something to think about. But
Maybe
I
it may
love
be,
those ideas.
it may be complicated, but
Yeah.
another alternative is that I was thinking about maybe doing audio covers and maybe make an album so that way you can see how it looks when I sing them, how they're sung.
Definitely. I mean, back in the day when we were kids, I don't know if they still have, but they have like play along albums where you can play like a kid's, and as you're reading the book, and there's a lot of you're very creative, Adam. Obviously, from seeing this.
And most of this, and some scripts will have songs while others will not, so that way you could give a break in between, because too much singing after a while can get a little tiring.
that's why Disney does that. Nice.
Right. Now, the character design, is this any specifically influenced by any certain other kind of animated shows or cartoons or anything?
I was mainly inspired by Butch Hartman, who he's created Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, and Bunsen is a Beast. And in some ways, I'm also inspired by Phineas and Ferb and a little bit of The Loud House.
Excellent. There's such great illustrations here, and you gotta say
Yeah.
the facial expressions that you put into this, Mark. If you want to bring up anything in particular, but
Yeah, the one that Rich had just showed, may be my favorite illustration in the book.
me too.
That bubble effect, it reminded me of a lava lamp, which, in addition to just being a really cool effect that you were able to create there, that is also something, and I don't know, I think it would be interesting to hear you tell us if you had this in mind, but I mean, the lava lamp is there's definitely something very pop culture, counterculture related to music about that. There's like kind of like a Woodstock sort of psychedelic imagery in this picture. I think it's just such a brilliant effect that you did, and
It's a way to let their imaginations run wild.
and I mean, you really succeeded tremendously. This one also reminded me of the Bifrost from the Thor universe, the way that they were able to play music and it made this kind of like this pathway through space that they were able to use. It was just incredibly unique and original and creative. So yeah, I guess it wasn't really a question. I just wanted to point out specifically that how much I mean, I love the whole book, but this was the standout. This was the one where I like kind of had to even put the book down for a second and just, kind of drop my jaw and say, wow, yeah, this was the one for me. I would say if I had to pick my favorite picture, the one I would put on a t-shirt or put the poster on my wall, this would be it right here.
I agree. I love that frame. Oh wow, yeah. So as far as the designing the characters, using and like you said, using for every page, did you have to do each page like like but by scratch every time, or were you able to like take like a character design and like put it into a page and then be able to reuse?
Yeah, I've often copy and paste from previous pages.
And then you could just change like expressions or
and retrace them, yes, to move them.
Do you guys want to ask Adam any other questions from either the list or anything you were thinking about? Lowell, did you have a question?
Yeah. What did you use to do the art illustrations, Adam?
On the app Procreate on my iPad.
Oh, I have that one also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lowell
Yeah.
being a fellow artist, Mr. Lowell Bills.
Yeah.
So the
Eric.
master behind the master works that serve as my background today. This is a Lowell Bales original.
Yeah.
Nice. Eric, you had a question for Adam.
Yeah. How you get the name of the book and the podcast?
How did you come up with the name? Is that what you're asking, Eric?
Yeah.
Of the book?
And the podcast. That's where I get the name from.
Where I got the name from?
Yeah.
Originally, I was going to title it the Prime Time Primates, but that didn't sound fitting, misleading. So I decided to rename it Pop Rock to show that they play pop music or rock music.
That's cool.
Originally, I was going to have Mark and his human friends be middle school age, but then one of my staff suggested it would be better to have them high school age. So
But that's doesn't sound like the podcast we are in now.
what?
Oh, because there's pop in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The total coincidence. Nothing to do with the Fun Pop Fan Guys podcast and the Pop Rock Primates. Total coincidence. There's a pop involved, but it's all about popular culture, popular music.
Yeah,
popular.
that's why I came up. That's another good reason why I came up with it.
Well, as a public service, and we should say, if you're going to read the Pop Rock Primates, just make sure you don't drink Coca-Cola at the same time.
Oh, yeah, don't.
For any kids of the 80s that might get the Mikey from the Life cereal box reference.
So,
And throughout some of my scripts, I made hidden references so that people grew up with from their childhood, so they recycle it.
And that's one of the most enjoyable parts of these stories for me, Adam, is trying to find these clever little puns that you sneak in there, and to see how much fun you have with that wordplay. It's really delivers a laugh. You always catch me off guard with those jokes.
And I'm glad you like the representation. Which reminds me, there's one other representation that I think some of you may already would know about this that you've. One of the characters I came up with, Dolores Pentola, is the kind of person who will receive self-direct services. I'm trying to show representation of people who have staff in real life.
And is she the one who has the boutique in your story?
Yes, she is. She's my old friend Lauren Pentola, because Lauren herself loves fashion. So I feel like, why not base a character off Lauren and have her own a fashion store?
That's awesome.
She requested that I name her Dolores after her grandma.
Oh, wow. A beautiful tribute.
it is beautiful. So, Adam,
And
what kind of I'm sorry, Mark.
Oh, I wasn't talking. No.
I was gonna say is that staff that Dolores would have would be none other than Mark's mom, Annabelle.
Hey, there you go.
In addition to Annabelle working at Dolores' store, she could also be a staff to her outside of her job to show that even bosses need help, and that special needs people can be very successful.
That's awesome. So like a job coach, sort of.
Yeah, except Dolores owns the store.
Mm-hmm.
And shows that even store managers or owners in general could still need help from people in the lower position.
That's great, Adam. So I have one last question about it. So as far as like the original scripts to the book, did you make I'm sure you had to make a lot of changes. Is there anything original that's in the book that wasn't in the original scripts? or is it pretty faithful to your script? Would you say?
Well, mostly it's shortened. I cut out some parts from the script and made them shorter so that way kids can play it.
Yeah, there's a lot more like obviously a lot of dialogue in the scripts versus the here, which it's mostly like kind of like narration, right?
Yeah, the first book is mostly narration. The second book will have more dialogue.
Well, speaking of which, when I was inviting Adam to come on here, we would try to get Adam to come on here to talk about his first book, and as this is happening, we find out that Adam published the second one.
Wow.
So,
And that book in particular is not based off the script.
oh, this is original that came out of it.
Yep.
Well, everybody's gonna have to go out and order Adam's books. All right, go on Amazon. You got,
And there will be more
soon, and there's more coming.
Yep.
Is there an end to this series, Adam? Do you have an idea of how many will be in the final completed project, or is this just an ongoing
Of the book-
anthology?
Of the books or the script?
The books.
Probably at least 12, but who knows? There might be something else or something.
So it can go on forever, like comic books.
I guess you could say that.
And maybe you could do spin-offs about a certain character, and I mean,
I also have other show ideas planned out in the future.
for
Characters.
different something different from the Pop Rock Primates. You have other ideas?
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to everything you got coming out, Adam. We're all very proud of you.
One of which will involve elementary school bugs. Another way of showing diversity, different bugs.
Ah, okay. Well, this has been great. We're kind of like following your journey from when you first started coming on the creative writing classes and seeing you going out there and publishing this yourself. And it's
And with
it's so great, Adam. We're so proud of you, and thank you for being on here. Does anybody have any final questions before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah. I do.
Okay.
I like when you're referencing the Beatles.
When you reference the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
The Abbey
The
Road.
Abbey
I
Road
like that
one.
idea.
Why did I reference
Yeah.
the Beatles? You're asking?
That Abbey Road illustration that we had talked about
I think he
earlier.
said that he liked that you did
Yeah.
the Beatles.
Yes, because they were definitely a beloved band, and even though they're they aren't like making any new songs, it's good to let their legacy live on.
Absolutely. And
That's what I was talking about.
Because I'm writing books doesn't mean I'm going to give up writing scripts.
there you go.
And as for script writing, I'm almost done with season 1. I've just got a few scripts left.
For the animated series.
Yes.
Excellent.
When the time comes, I finish all the scripts for season 1, I will immediately notify all of you.
That's
All
cool.
right. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Well, we wish you all the best with all this, and I think that
And with
you
later
never
books,
know in the future that that there could be a chance that this eventually could become an animated
series.
series. I mean, it's just like anything with being a musician, being an author, an illustrator. You never know who might see this online and purchase it. It might catch their eyes, and then you never know.
And if you like the colors I picked for the first 2 books, you'll see other books in different colors.
Yeah, the colors
great.
in these illustrations are just so good. They just pop.
So-
They grab your attention.
And I'm also talking about in terms of the back cover and the circle of the numbers.
Yeah, so to put out enough of these books, when you have them all on the bookshelf, it'll look like a rainbow.
The goal here.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, We want to thank Adam once again. Let's give Adam a hand.
Yay.
Be prepared for when I write my third book soon.
All right, looking forward to it. So, before we go, we just want to tell everybody out there to subscribe to our page. This
That's
is going to be
one.
an official updated video. So,
And comment
subscribe to our
and
page.
read the
hit the what
bell for
button?
notification.
That's right. Hit the bell for notifications and like the video and comment. Let us know what you guys
Yep.
think about our Adam's book. And yeah,
And
so everybody,
say what's your favorite parts of the book.
there you go.
All right.
Go out there and buy the book. Buy these books. Go on Amazon. Go out there like there's a store you can go to. Go on Amazon and you can buy these books. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank all our fellow contributors, Mike, Big Mike,
Thank you.
Dawn, Eric, Lowell, and my man Mark Lazow. Once again, thank you. And Adam, good luck, buddy. We'd love to have you, back on here soon. Maybe when you're done with your next book.
Yep, and I'll see what I can do. I just got other stuff going on, but if you give me like proper advance notice, I'd be more than happy to.
Well, I appreciate your time coming on here and doing this. All right,
Thank you.
everybody. Everybody have a wonderful evening,
You do the same.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.